Our DNA as a nation is for excellence. And we are not meant for the third world. Kenya is not. Kenya's DNA is not for the third world. We are in the third world by mistake.
There's a rhythm to transformation, the steady pulse of jackhammers, the thrum of conveyor belts, the low rumble of earth being shifted and reshaped. Since William Ruto became the president of Kenya, that rhythm has become the soundtrack of this nation. Not just a few white-collar offices or isolated public works. The entire country feels like a construction site, and not by accident, but by design.
We are in the third world by mistake. We are in the third world by default, and we must correct it.
From the city streets of Nairobi to the rolling Rift Valley plains, from the banks of the Nairobi River to the far reaches of the geothermal fields deep underground, it feels like Kenya is being refashioned, piece by piece, promise by promise, towards a future no longer restrained by past constraints. This is the story of a country trying to build out of its present into something resembling the Singapore of Africa by 2050. A dramatic stretch of hope, ambition, and concrete.
We need to be strategic, we need to be innovative, and we need to be agile in how we leverage the resources that we have.
Let's start with the skyline that hasn't yet risen, but whose foundations are being laid even as we speak. 1. Affordable housing. Eradicating slums, building future. Informal settlements have been the starkest reminder of inequality. Communities often living without clean water, sanitation, or secure tenure. Ruto's government launched an ambitious affordable housing program meant to change that. Across cities like Nairobi, new housing units are being built to replace slums and provide decent homes for families long relegated to makeshift dwellings. The state has repeatedly reiterated its commitment to eliminating squalor and transforming slums into planned, walkable neighborhoods.
Made a commitment to the people of Nairobi that we are going to change the face of Nairobi and we are going to eliminate ile slums yote iko katika mji wetu wa Nairobi. In due time, we will change them into estates that are livable, where Kenyans can live with dignity and respect.
But this vision hasn't been without controversy. Critics argue that a tension between state-led housing and market realities, and whether these homes will truly be affordable for most Kenyans. Yet the message in speeches is persistent. Housing is dignity, and that's why the government has moved millions into constructing thousands of units in tandem with other infrastructure projects. 2. Roads and expressways. The Mau-Rironi-Mau Summit Corridor. Now imagine a map of Kenya's road network. What was once patchwork is being refashioned into corridors of movement. The Rironi-Mau Summit Expressway project, spanning roughly 175 kilometers, from Rironi through Naivasha to Mau Summit and Nakuru, is one of the most transformative road projects underway. Once completed, this corridor will evolve from a narrow, congested 2-lane road into a 4- to 6-lane corridor carriageway designed to slash travel time, reduce accidents, and open up trade routes to the agricultural heartlands and beyond.
This month, I will be coming to launch the road from Rironi to Mau Summit. It is going to cost anywhere between 170 and 200 billion.
This isn't just a road. It is a backbone of commerce and mobility, a connective tissue intended to link farmers, businesses, towns, and cities. Thousands of jobs are being created, and local youths are gaining technical skills as these arteries are built. Critics still caution about tolls and accessibility, but the scale of transformation is breathtaking in its ambition. 3. Nairobi River regeneration. Water, waste, and wastewater. But it's not just horizontal infrastructure, but it's environmental infrastructure too. The Nairobi River Regeneration Project, a 50 billion initiative, is one of the most comprehensive urban restoration efforts Kenya has ever seen. It's designed to clean and revive Nairobi's iconic river system, tackle untreated sewage, rein in solid waste dumping, install modern sewer lines, and expand clean water access for tens of thousands of residents. This project is ambitious because it does two things at once. It literally restores a polluted waterway while building affordable housing, public spaces, walkways, cycle lanes, and new infrastructure adjacent to the riverbanks. It's not just a sanitation project, it's urban regeneration at large. The plan calls for a 60-kilometer sewer line, expanded flood mitigation infrastructure, and waste management systems that move beyond buckets and drains and towards sanitation that meets the needs of a modern capacity city. Ruto himself has set deadlines for the river cleanup, vowing completion by January 2027, and tied it to broader citywide clean water access and urban resilience goals.
Some of the young people will participate in making sure that this dump site is dealt with. It's been an eyesore, it's been a challenge, it's been a health hazard. It is time that we deal with it. And I'm very happy that we are doing this in collaboration with Nairobi City County because that is their mandate. I recognize and thank.
4. Clean water and irrigation. Dams, supplies, and long-term water security. Clean water is not just an urban problem, it's a national one. Across counties, the government has rolled out water supply and sanitation projects, like the Nandi Hills Water Supply and Sanitation Initiative, to give rural community reliable access to safe drinking water and improved sanitation. In parallel, Ruto has pushed nationwide dam and irrigation policies to take Kenya beyond a dependence on rain, towards stored and managed water that supports agriculture, industry, and the people.
Ili kuzalisha chakula Kenya, hatuhitaji mvua, tunahitaji maji. We need water for irrigation. So, what I am proposing now is, we have enough water in Kenya, but we don't have enough rain. Right? It rains in a few places. But hiyo maji ikinyesha na tutege hiyo maji na tustore hiyo maji inatosha kuzalisha chakula ya Kenya. That is why we need between 50 and 70 mega dams in Kenya. Wizara ya maji nimewaambia wametengenezea orodha ya ile dam zote zinatakikana.
Plans include hundreds of mega dams intended to bolster irrigation and rural economies, dramatically expanding the land under irrigation and freeing Kenya from unpredictable weather cycles. 5. Clean energy. Geothermal to 10,000 megawatts and beyond. Underneath Kenya's surface lies another resource: heat. Right now, Kenya already leads Africa in geothermal energy, but only a fraction of its estimated 10,000 megawatts potential has been tapped. Ruto's government has pushed strongly towards large-scale renewable energy expansion, and part of that vision is to increase total electricity generation towards 10,000 megawatts by 2030-2033 through geothermal, solar, wind, and other renewables as part of a PPP strategy.
Kenya holds an estimated 10,000 megawatts of geothermal potential, yet we have harnessed just less than 10%, which is 1,000 megawatts.
This isn't just about clean power. It's about lowering costs, stabilizing supply, and powering manufacturing, hospitals, schools, and industry. Geothermal is baseload energy. It doesn't dance with the weather, making it ideal for Kenya's industrial ambitions. 6. Slum eradication. But what is construction without people at the center? Making a country like Singapore involved more than highways and IT parks. It was housing, water, education, health, and opportunity. Ruto's housing agenda is tied explicitly to slum eradication. The idea that Kenya's future is not in informal settlements but in planned, connected neighborhoods with access to services and dignity. That's why affordable housing is woven into riverfront regeneration and why slums transformation is is part of urban policy discussions across Nairobi, Mombasa, and other cities.
Building on this foundation, we will extend the program to the 4 major cities, Kisumu, Mombasa, Eldoret, and Nakuru, within 1 month.
This pushes against simplicity narratives of just building towers. The goal is holistic urban renewal, reclaiming polluted land, providing clean water, sanitation, and then housing on top of that to create neighborhoods where life and work can coexist with modern infrastructure. 7. Governance and gentrification. But let's be clear, there is tension in transformation. Construction sites make dust before they make buildings. There are questions about who benefits from these mega projects and whether informal communities might be displaced rather than integrated. Some critics warn that big infrastructure can accelerate gentrification, pushing out low-income residents to make way for high-end developments. Others worry about financing models that uses tolls or PPP, concessions that may shift cost onto everyday users. These concerns are real and deserve scrutiny as Kenya evolves. What Singapore of Africa means in practice cannot be only shiny highways. It must be equitable access to opportunity and dignity. 8. The final reckoning. And so we return to the core question. Kenya is becoming a growing country of expressways, smart techs, river regeneration, clean power projects, dams and housing blocks. But is this construction digging foundation of shared prosperity, or just transforming the landscape while leaving inequalities in place? The vision is clear: transform a third world label into first world capability. But that requires governance that listens to citizens, balances investments with inclusion, and make sure the promises under the construction boom reach into homes, schools, clinics and markets, not just onto billboards. In the end, a construction site is a symbol of becoming messy, loud, disruptive, and hopeful. Kenya's cranes and crews aren't just moving earth. They are moving a nation towards a new horizon. Whether the horizon becomes Kenya's Singapore moment or just another chapter in infrastructure politics will depend on the stories that unfold after the ribbon cuttings in classrooms, hospitals, markets, and everyday lives across the map.